From the biggest moments
Can you believe it?
to gold medal championships,
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
it's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
This is the True North Ice podcast where we talk everything Hockey Canada and Canadian hockey related. I'm your host, Caleb Snyder. The other host, co-host Jacob Ewing, is not here once again. He'll be back for the Monday episode as we break down the rest of the men's tournament. And man, we just witnessed, day of this recording is Thursday, Feb 19. Just witnessed a very crushing gold medal game, USA-Canada women's. And man, I'm lost for words. Basically, the team did what we needed them to do. They rebounded. They really gave up a fight against this dominant USA team. 2 minutes left. You just had to kill off 2 more minutes. And of course, Hillary Knight finds the back of the net. Last Olympics, and then Megan Keller just absolutely undresses Claire Thompson in OT. It's heartbreaking, man. Because this team did basically everything they needed to do to beat USA. Obviously, if they're going to beat USA, they're going to squeak by. It's going to be a 1 or 2 goal game with the exception of an empty netter. And that's what they had set up for themselves. We'll get into the... I'm going to do a little bit of the entire I'm going to kind of break down the entire tournament, kind of what went wrong and what I was kind of more repeating what kind of happened. Then we'll do a full-on roster talk later down the road, but more of a not brief recap, but like a recap of the whole tournament right now. But right now, the focus is gold medal. And 2-1, man. 2 minutes. That's all it took was 2 darn minutes. And I said this in the quick video, and I'm glad that I can do the podcast and just talk as long as I want now. They did exactly what they needed to do. I already said that, but that first period just was proving me wrong in almost every single thing. I know, especially after the 5-0 loss in the prelims to the USA, I was very hypercritical of the offense and the way they managed the puck in the O-zone. And they sustained pressure, but the pressure, they never got any grade A scoring chances. They had a lot of perimeter shots, sure, maybe a body in front, but I felt like they could have done a better job at finding a nifty play, getting in close, getting better rebounds in that prelim game. And I felt like, first of all, we had there's no notes or no stats on how long or O-zone time. Maybe they showed it in the broadcast. That first period, it felt like the puck wasn't in the neutral zone. It was in USA's defensive zone. Canada did a great job, in my opinion, of if they lost the zone, they'd find the puck in the neutral zone or USA would dump it down and their forecheck wouldn't work. And I just felt like the way Canada's puck management in that offensive zone, they got a lot more high danger chances. And quite frankly, USA is just a good defender, good team all around, right? And defensively, they were very good. And USA did the job. And it was Canada's best period of the entire tournament. I've said that a couple times now, and just really unfortunate how it ends up. But man, there's a lot to just take. Like, that first period was mind-blowing. I know they didn't score, but the forecheck was amazing. Like, I know it wasn't solely a dump and chase kind of play. USA did not dump and chase, really. It was more rush chances and just skate into the zone with the puck. Why blanking on what the terminology is there right this second. It was kind of more 50-50 for Canada, but when they did, even if they lost the puck, the forecheck was really, really good. Even like the third line, like the fourth line, they didn't even barely play. Kristen O'Neill didn't even play. Jen Gardner had 1 shift. But the third line was good, and I think the fourth line had 1 shift. I thought they were okay, but whatever. And then the neutral zone play was much, much better. Felt like they could find that break pass from the D zone and breakout pass from the D zone and push through into the O zone, get the puck in deep, do whatever they needed to do. And it was just much, much better. They won a lot more puck battles. They just felt like I wouldn't say dominate, but USA dominated us in that prelim game, and I think Canada really pushed back, maybe more of a 50-50 game, which is massive in a game like this. And I know also we're missing Poulin in the prelim game, but like this stuff is for the entire team too. Like what they did was unbelievable. And the power play, we didn't have, how many power plays did we have in that first period? We had two power plays. The power play looked PP1 looked pretty good. They had some good chances. And then power play 2, they ran out with a 3D. I haven't talked about it at all this Olympics, but they've been running 3 defensemen on that second power play. I understand 2, but do we need 3? I understand why you have Jake's. There's not many right-handed shots on this team, especially in the forward core. I understand she's got a good shot and she's right-handed. You can have her play down. I don't know. Power play terminologies. Just leave it. It's late right now. I understand why Jake's is on, and I understand why you'd have Claire Thompson on to quarterback, or Ella Shelton, whoever you take your pick. It wasn't Aaron Ambrose wasn't on the power play, but take your pick on whoever you want. But we have so many good forwards that have had very poor tournaments, and they just never got power play time to start. And I know power play in 5-on-5 is different, but a power play goal could have jump-started somebody, could have got a couple players going, you know what I mean? And it just, the power play didn't feel super effective. I think USA's PK was pretty good, I believe, as well. They only gave up 2 goals the entire tournament. Your PK, what am I saying? The PK was very good for USA. USA struggled on the power play, though. So it would have been nice to take advantage of USA's poor power play, and maybe we could just win the special teams game and win out. There was not many penalties called in this game after that first period. There was zero penalties called after the first period. So it would have been nice if we could take advantage of that, but no. But the 3 defensemen it's mind-boggling that they stuck together the entire tournament. I'd understand if it was Jake's and then Claire Thompson, Ella Shelton, Aaron Ambrose. Honestly, I'm at the point where I forget who that third one was because, just it pissed me off, man. I don't understand. Why not give, Sarah Nurse went from 18 points in the 2022 Olympics to 2 points. And I think a big factor why she got 18 is probably because she was on power play 1. I don't think she was on, I don't even have the power play units right now, but I'm pretty sure she was not on a power play. Julia Gosling was on the second power play. She scored 1 or 2 goals on the power play, I believe, early in the tournament. So she's stapled there. And then you've got Brianne Jenner, I believe, was on the second power play, which Brianne Jenner's got the most goals in PWHL this year. I understand why, but then you've got a good chunk of forwards like Emma Malte could have benefited from that. I believe Sarah Nurse wasn't on there. Even Blair Turnbull, I know she's slower, but she's got, I don't know. There's just so many forwards that you could have taken, or you could have just played on the power play instead of one of those two defensemen. But that's one decision. I'm sure we'll break it down later on in the next couple weeks. But no, I wasn't very fond of the power. Well, power play 1 was okay. They had their chances, but power play 2 was just poor. Also, the other thing was we're not a fast cough at the puck on the 1 power play. Basically, ended the power play 1's shift. It was they're a minute 15 already in the power play. That was basically it. They had good pressure and just coughed up the puck, and that's not the first time we saw that this tournament. It's probably happened 3-4 times. Renata Fast did not have a great game, and also did not have a great tournament. She's the number 1 defenseman in Canada, and just, I wouldn't say she didn't show up, but I feel like there's some defensive things that could have been better. And in the offensive zone, man, she coughed the puck way too many times, it felt like. So, and yeah, she got stuck in her own zone a lot, which I don't understand the Jocelyn Larocque pairing with her. Honestly, Jocelyn Larocque looked fine until these past 2 games. Jocelyn Larocque had a good tournament until these last 2 games. got stuck in their zone too much. Felt like she was scared to make a play, could not make a breakout pass, which is fine. You have Renata Fast who can do that. So I understand why you would not attempt at that, but just felt like just a like kind of what we expected. A Jocelyn LaRock kind of Olympic tournament. It kind of fell apart near the end when the games are most important. So, but other than that, like really, that's the only thing I can complain about is Renata Fast, and the power play was meh in this game. The rest was just great. 5-on-5 play was good. I'm just trying to think if there's a better word. It's the best we've seen at all tournament. It still could have used work. It's never going to compare to USA's, but yeah, the pressure they created in this game, like they put up. Curious what the shots were in the first game, because the shots for this game were 33-31, and Canada was leading that for pretty much most of the game until that overtime when the States had five shots and Canada had 3. That's where it fell apart. I'm not a big shots. I don't really care about shots. While I look for this, like the Sweden-Switzerland game that was on earlier, the bronze medal game. Sweden, first of all, great story. They were not favored in this game. Obviously, they're a Pool B team. Like they're supposed to be one of the 5 bottom teams in this tournament, and they're playing for bronze. They outshot Switzerland. So, and well, I mean, I'll slowly get to. I'll talk a little bit about the Switzerland game after, but as we like dominated shots. USA completely dominated in that first game. I got it here now. So, yeah, Canada had more shots. Felt like they had a lot more high danger opportunities, and it's just unfortunate they couldn't finish. And I think that's one thing that we've been talking about is they can't finish. And honestly, even the men's side feels like some of these players can't finish too, which we'll get to later. I'm probably going to put timestamps in here too. So if you're still listening, looking for the men's, I'll have a timestamp in the description. Yeah, first period, very happy. And then second period, really, it was kind of the same thing. It just felt like, so Kristen O'Neill scored early in that second period, and it was on the PK. First first shorthanded goal of the entire tournament for Canada. And the way Stacey found the puck and basically took the puck up all the way, and then passes to O'Neill. O'Neill with a good shot beats Aaron Frankel, which you don't see very often. That was the second goal Aaron Frankel's given up all tournament. Second goal USA has given up all tournament. And the fact that are only I know it's a penalty kill, and you're kind of, if you're on the fourth line C, mind you, you're kind of stapled to power play, and that's about it. Kristen O'Neill, the player that scored our only goal, played 5 minutes the entire game. Get this, Julia Gosling, who doesn't anymore, but she was leading the team in points and goals. Grant, yes, there was a good chunk on the power play early, but for the longest time, she was leading the team in points and goals. 5 minutes. Natalie Spooner, who's honestly, she's had a pretty outstanding, not outstanding. She's had a better tournament than we expected. Only 5 minutes as well. Man, that's a fourth line. I'm moving all over the place here. And then the biggest one, as I'm just doing a time and ice dialogue at this point. Jen Gardner, who was the first line left wing in the World Championships. And if you remember, if you don't know, Canada, just an unbelievable World Championship. Scored a gazillion goals. Granted, they lost to the USA twice. Sure, she didn't show up really in that gold medal game. Jen Gardner scored the most goals in that tournament. I think she had 13. Was it 13? No, maybe it's 13 points and something. But she led the tournament in goals. She was higher. She had more goals than all the States players. Had more goals than Poulin. Had more goals than, take your pick on whoever you want to pick. She had the most goals, and she was alongside Poulin and Stacey. Stacey did not look great at all this tournament. Granted, her line mate for the longest time, Poulin, gets injured. But I wonder a factor of Poulin was Poulin. She was still good. But I think a factor why Stacy wasn't as good maybe is she probably would have been more effective if she was maybe with Gardner. Younger, faster, can carry the puck into the zone, can shoot. Like, she's an all-around player with pace to her game. And I feel like that could have benefited Stacy. Stacy was okay, but she was nothing like we expected. So, but yeah, Gardner played less than a minute. Katie Tabin, who I mean, I understand why she didn't play. That's just how it is. That's just how the game goes. Is sometimes you play your seventh defenseman, sometimes you don't, and I understand why she didn't play. She didn't play at all. I think there is a way you could have found shifts for her. I think she would have been more effective than Erin Ambrose would have been. Claire Thompson apparently is hurt. I didn't know that until today, until they mentioned on the broadcast. I don't know how I missed that. Apparently she's hurt. She still played 18 minutes. And she's a player that got undressed, destroyed when Megan Keller scored that OT goal. Why didn't we just level out the decor time on ice more? Renata Faz played almost 32 minutes. 32 minutes, man. There's so many questions. And then you're putting, Erin Ambrose did get hurt halfway through. So that does play a factor on that one hit. But still, she played 15 minutes. Jake's played 14. I wasn't very fond of Jake's play either. But this time on ice is mind-boggling. Why do you have Jocelyn Larocque on the top pairing if she's still only going to play 15 minutes? Why not just try and, from the get-go, come on, everyone knew this was going to happen. Jocelyn Larocque was not going to hold her own and not hold the same minutes Renata Fast would have. Yes, there's special teams involved. Jocelyn Larocque isn't on the power play, but there's only 2 power plays, so that adds 2 minutes. That's still almost a 15-minute gap. Jocelyn Larocque played 16 minutes. Renata Fast 32. So why didn't we just start with Shelton or Thompson from the get-go of this tournament for Fast? They've been playing with each other. They've been playing with each other for a long time, and I know long time ago, not a long time ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, it was Larocque Fast. But then they moved to the top 4 of Shelton, Thompson, Ambrose, and Fast. And then you take your pick on Thompson or Shelton. Usually it's Thompson. Usually it's Thompson with her. That was what it was in the World Championship in 2025. But you look at these time on ice, it might have been more effective if you just, because Shelton did eventually just start taking shifts with Fast, but why not take shifts with Fast like starting in the prelims? Get more used to each other. I don't know. It's just some mind-boggling things. You just look at this time on ice chart. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then you look at the States. The States have 4 unbelievable defensemen, which we had for the longest time. I think Erin Ambrose, Claire Thompson, Ella Shelton, they're not as good as what they used to be. Jocelyn Larocque is not as good as what those 3 players were ever. I mean, at least right now. And then you look at the States, you have Layla Edwards, who, first of all, isn't even a defenseman. She's not a defenseman on her NCAA team. You have Megan Keller, who's been around for a long time. Haley Wynn's been around for a little bit. I think Haley Wynn's first Olympics, but she's been around with USA for a long time. Caroline Harvey, who I don't know if she ended. I'm assuming she still ended with the most points. I haven't actually looked. I'll get into it later. But she had the most points in the entire tournament as a defenseman. You have 4, and then you have a veteran. You got 2 veterans, Kayla Barnes. I guess Kayla Barnes is still a little bit younger, and then Lee Steckline, who's been around for a long time as well. You just have a decor like that who you can trust, and split the time on ice Like, nobody played over 25 minutes. The third pairing played 15 minutes. They never moved them around. They never moved them around at all. And then you have your seventh who didn't play. I think their decor is just better, and they were much better, more comfortable in their own zone. They could get the puck up the ice. They were good in the offensive zone. Good quarterbacks in the power play. I think Keller and Edwards were on the second power play, and Harvey was in the first. Like, that decor is unbelievable. And it just felt like we never had that, and it kind of showed in this game. Got stuck in your own zone a lot, so. Yeah. I kind of got sidebarred here about how good USA is, and I know this is a Canadian hockey podcast. Okay, we'll just get to the third period. Third period, the States pull their goalie. 3 minutes left. I've got the hand up. That's the thing with Instagram and following the games and posting scores and graphics and all that. I pulled up I made a graphic for a gold medal. I don't know if you know or not. You might have seen it on their video. I put it in the TikTok video. I had it on the Instagram. I had the caption ready, and I was ready to post if they were to win. When I finished typing out the caption, boom. Layla Edwards shot from the point, and of course Hillier Knights. Last Olympics, man. And she scores. That's just amazing. And then, yeah, just felt like there's just no way Canada was going to compete in overtime unless you found Poulin magic. It felt like that was really what it felt like. We had a 2-0. I don't even know the players. One was Daryl Watts. Daryl Watts picked the puck from Caroline Harvey. Good back check, but Caroline Harvey, obviously she lost the puck. She lost the puck. So obviously she's skating back hard. She does not want that goal to be on her. And maybe it was Fillier. I think Fillier had a couple chances, even in the third period. Just could not bury it. And there was a 2-0 though. And just gutted, man. I felt like that was it. But really, if it wasn't Poulin, it was going to be the States. And that's exactly what happened. Megan Keller finds a puck in the neutral zone. It's a 1-on-1 with Thompson. Just what a filthy move. That's the first thing I said. Gave me flashbacks of Marner of yesterday. And unbelievable move. Just unbelievable. And Claire Thompson's going to have it's going to be a long time before you forget that one. Finds it back in net, beats Dabier, glove side. Megan Keller, your winner. Taylor Heisey got the assist, but really it was just all Megan Keller. But no, that game was, I thought this would be, it's been tough. I don't know if you can tell, but I thought this would be an easier episode to record about the women's at least, because they were going to probably get blown out, or not blown out, but beat USA. I thought USA is just going to dominate this game, just like how they dominated the entire tournament. I thought it'd be much easier to talk about all the things that didn't go wrong. The same stuff I've been saying for the past 2 weeks. But I will say Canada did really give that effort, and USA was always going to be the favorite. Always going to be the favorite. They've now won 8 in a row against Canada, and they put up a good fight. So it's tough because it's the Olympics, and this is it for a really big chunk of players. We'll see about Poulin. I think she'll probably come back. She's only 34, so. But also, I don't know if Laura Stacey's going to make the team in 4 years from now. So, unless you want to do it as Stacey's not there, we don't know. But just a scary thing, too, now as I'm kind of done with this game. Go more into dialogue here. Not dialogue. I don't even know what I'm talking about. USA, they have, was it 5 or 7 NCAA players? Their top 3 scorers were all NCAA players. And the fact that neither, like, two veterans on the team are the ones that score for USA. Just unbelievable. I think that's pretty insane. But they've got those NCAA players, like, obviously the big one is Caroline Harvey. She's the best defenseman women's hockey has ever seen in a long time, and she's 22, 21, 22 probably. I think this is her last year of NCAA, and she's draft eligible for the PWHL. She might go first. Then you have Layla Edwards. I don't know what she'll do come PWHL, but I think you got to keep her as, if you're the coach of the States, you got to keep her as a defenseman. She's slow. You kind of could see that a little bit, but I think the way she plays, I think the shot, the size too. I mean, size isn't as important on the women's side, but I think you got to keep her as a defenseman. She's unbelievable. She's draft eligible in the PWHL this year. So there's those two on the back end. And then you have Abby Murphy, the pest. The pest, as they say. The pest that can back it up. There's so many times, like, how many penalties did she draw against against Canada in the first prelim game? 3, maybe 4. She almost drew one. She almost drew one today. She knocked down somebody in a scrum, and I totally thought it'd be a penalty, and refs let it go, which I think is fine. I think it's fine to let them play, but Abby Murphy, unbelievable. She might go first. It's either her or Harvey to go first, in my opinion, in the PWHL draft. Depends if you want a defenseman or a forward. And then keep going down the list. Where's Joy Dunn? Joy Dunn is a second liner on this team. Oh, sorry. Abby Murphy's a first line right wing, is that at that age, with Taylor Heisey, who's still, this is her second Olympics, but she just was just drafted to the PWHL, super young. Basically the biggest piece on that Frost team, Minnesota Frost. She'll be around for a long time. Joy Dunn, I thought I really liked her game. I know she doesn't get talked about as much as Murphy and Edwards would, and Harvey, but I really like her game as a second liner. She played alongside Carpenter Knight, who, I don't know about Carpenter. Maybe she'll make another team, but she had a good game. She's a good penalty killer. Basically what I'm trying to get at, there's also Tessa Janicki, who's their 4C, who actually played 15 minutes. Basically what I'm getting at is the States are good now. Just imagine them in 4 years from now. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be like, they're going to dominate. They only gave up 2 goals the entire tournament. And half these players are under the age of 25. Just imagine what they're going to do in the next 4 years. Imagine, like, World Championships. They're going to blow out Canada 7-0 in a World Championship gold medal game. It feels like it's going to be unbelievable. I don't think it's going to be the 2026 one, but 2027, 2028, they're going to blow Canada out at this rate. If you just look at it, Canada's got to find some younger talent, because ideally we're pushing out. We're all PWHL players. If you don't know that, we're losing. I think at least 1/3 of this team is not making the Olympic team for sure. Probably more. And then you've only got, like, the only 2, maybe 3, 4 names we kind of talked about that are younger that could make this team, Canada, for the Olympics. 2 of them on the back end, 2 of them in the forward core. And first of all, 2 of them are in the PWHL, so that doesn't even help. The age is still, there's only 2 college players that we can make an argument, and where USA's already got 5. I feel like it might be 7. Anyways, they've already got them in the Olympics, and they've already got them in the World Championships. Like, Abby Murphy was a big piece in the 2024 World Championships, or 2025 World Championships, and the Rivalry Series got beat up too. But they've got pieces already, which is crazy compared to Canada, where you've got 2 NCAA players. I mean, I don't know much after Kramer and Primerano. Who else would be in the hopper? But nothing compared to these U.S. players. So, yeah, Daniel Serdachny would have been interesting, but Serdachny would have not played. She wouldn't have played in the top 6. It wouldn't have mattered. So, and if Serdachny made it, she would be probably pushing out. Personally, I think it should have been Natalie Spooner, but Natalie Spooner had a good tournament. So, I don't know. A lot of question marks going into whatever's next. Question marks on the coaching staff. Personally, I'm not going to get into it right now. I basically have talked about all of this stuff. Obviously, Troy Ryan is a big part in the roster decisions, but he's the one who rolls out the. I don't know if he rolls out the game plans. Honestly, I don't know how that works in a national team like that. Who would roll that out? But he's the one in charge of time and ice. He's the one who makes these pairings and lines. He's probably the one who's been in charge of this horrendous, I don't know what to say, horrible offensive zone setup that they have 5-on-5. Yeah, but the management of these players is so bad, in my opinion. And I think this is it anyways. I don't know if they won, maybe, but even if they won, I'd make an argument why he shouldn't be back. So, well, it was a good run. But I think we need to focus on players that we just need to focus on a new coach, new players, I wouldn't say new development, just new mindset when it comes to playing these players. Granted, he found the first line. First line was great. Darryl Watts, Poulin, Thillier. You figured that one out. But after that, man, sure, you can have the fourth line's fine. Like, those players on the fourth line is fine. But at least you could elevate their time on ice. Or you could find a couple different players. Like, Sarah Nurse put to the table 2 assists. Like, why? She's getting 17 minutes. Did she really need that? Can she not just hop on the fourth line and win a couple draws and just shut down? I don't know. I think this is it. We'll do another further assessment later on when both of us are here. Curious what I don't even know if Jake saw the game, but there's a lot of glaring things. I'll quickly touch on the Switzerland game. Basically, the Switzerland game is almost what I said. Like, they did exactly what I said they're going to do. I didn't predict the score or anything. I didn't think it would be that close. But they've been doing what I've been saying the whole time. What they struggled against the USA. The offensive zone has been poor. They had a gazillion shots and could not find the back of the net. Too many perimeter shots. A lot of people are saying they dominated the game, which they did. But dominated, I think you need to score more than 2 goals to dominate. I think. I know you had a gazillion minutes puck possession. But in a game like that, there's one upset. Like, I don't know. There's one upset. There's one upset situation, but I think that wasn't an upset situation where Switzerland just got bailed out by the goaltender. I think it was just too many shots from the perimeter. Not enough chances up close. There wasn't many rebounds. Like, that's good on Switzerland and their goaltender, but basically they did exactly what I've been saying, is poor offensive zone management. And neutral zone was not great, even though they won most of the puck battles. But yeah, brutal in my opinion. It just was not. It was not a good game for Canada against Switzerland. A lot of question marks were brought up. I think there wasn't enough question marks brought up. People look at the shots, people look at the puck possession and think it's okay, but you got to score goals, and you can't score a gazillion goals from the perimeter. I know that's how USA tied it up, but you got an extra player on the ice. Yeah. All right. That's the quick rehash. I got to talk about the men still, but there's one last thing. We did get. I closed it by accident, but we did get the tournament MVPs or whatever. Somehow, I mean, Poulin willed this team. I didn't even touch on Poulin in the Switzerland game. She willed this team. She willed this team to beat Switzerland. She scored those 2 goals. She's got the most goals in Olympic history on the women's side. She's a tournament MVP for the forward. I don't know exactly how they do it. Here we go. Best forward. That's exactly what it is. Poulin. The Swiss goalie Brandy is the goalie of the tournament, which I find a little questionable. She held Canada to 2 goals. USA, I think, beat them 5-0. Sweden did put up a good chunk of shots on her again today. It was probably like 30. It was a 2-1 game. Probably like 35, 36 saves, honestly. So I mean, sure, but Aaron Frankel only gave up 2 goals, and one was in the first game, and the second one was in the gold medal game. Gwyneth Phillips didn't give up a goal, and I'm just surprised about that one. Best defenseman Caroline Harvey, and she's the MVP, no doubter. Most points in the tournament. 22 years old, 23 years old. That's the only one I'm not questioning. I think it's just crazy because Poulin was out for 2 games. Watts really stepped up. Fillier stepped up, but I think Watts probably would have the edge in that. I find that a little interesting. And then all-star team. Okay, so this is just basically top 3 forwards, top 2 defensemen. Hannah Bilka. Yeah, you could see that she had a good couple chances in this gold medal game. I didn't watch every single USA women's game. And then Alina Mueller of Switzerland. She's unbelievable. Alina Mueller. She is a great player. I'd love to see her time on ice. I felt like every time I tuned into a Switzerland game, she's always on the ice. It felt like she's playing 25 minutes a night. And she's how old? Like, she's really good. So, I'm while I look this up real quick, she is 27. Okay, decent years in the PWHL, but she's by far clearly the best Switzerland player on that team. Maybe the goalie, but best skater at least. Good for her. I don't really know where my point was going there, but she felt like she ate a lot of time on ice, and she was pretty not dominant, but she was good. She really willed Switzerland through those games. Hannah Bilka, she's 24 years old too, by the way, guys. So, and on the back end for the awards or whatever, Harvey and Edwards, no doubter. Those 2 are unbelievable. So. Here you go. Caroline Harvey, at 23 years old, Olympic MVP, 4 All-Stars, so including World Championships and Olympics. So she's been doing this for a while now. 3 times best defender. Holy cow. So I've been missing out. I didn't even know this. 3-time best defender, so Worlds and Olympics. She got the gold medal in the Olympics. 2-time world champion, 2-time NCAA champion. There you have it. Yeah. That's kind of it right now. I'm sure there's more news to come out. I'm just now on Twitter. I need to get off. I'm sure there'll be more news coming out soon. We'll see probably some injury updates. We'll see how many games Poulin takes off. My guess is she looked good, I think. She's definitely not 100%, but she walked today to the rink. We'll see. I don't know what happened to Claire Thompson, but she was playing through something apparently. I think that's really it for injuries. I can't think of anyone else. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, brutal. Just brutal. I'm sure we'll touch on this probably a little bit in the next episode, and we'll for sure do a more of an official tournament end, what went what exactly went wrong kind of episode later on, but we haven't decided that yet. Just in the moment, breaking it all down. That's basically it I got for the women's. It's tough because they played their best game, and really, I really did think they might have had it. Like, they looked pretty good in their own zone. USA had that extra skater. It worked out. Extra body in front. That's what happened. It's unfortunate. It would have been a much different start to the episode if they won. I would have ate a lot of words. I would have, man. You could old takes expose everything if you wanted to if Canada won. Because I've said a lot of stuff in the past week about how they are not ever gonna get the chance to beat USA, and we'll see. I think I'm still on the side of if USA were to play Canada 10 times, Canada might win once, and that was this game here. Like, that's my last kind of final take on this. So that's how good USA is. So, and that's the thing with international play. It's a one game win it all situation. It's no best of 7, no best of 5, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes the better team doesn't win, and that's almost what happened here. So, all right, we'll move on to the men's side. Somehow we're still in this. Somehow in the tournament still. I can't believe it. Nick Suzuki, the guy who got lambasted on Twitter the entire game. It felt like he missed that one open net, hit the post. How do you do that in the first period? Just did not hear the end of it. Obviously, he's not on Twitter during the game, but there is a lot of crap, a lot of hate coming towards him. He has not had a great tournament. I think he is definitely more suited as a center, but he saves us, ties it up late. How much time's left in this game when Suzuki ties her up? 4 minutes, but and then obviously our guy, Leafs legend Mitch Marner, somehow, what a great move. I don't even know who he beats. But good for Macklin celebrating. He gets another point. Macklin celebrating segment, unbelievable tournament. But the I don't want to say this the wrong way, but I felt way more connected to this game. I felt like that's not the right word. I don't know if it's locked in, because I don't know. For me, I know my co-host Jake is the exact opposite. He's way more of a fan. I'm definitely more of the analyze. Obviously, sure, I'm Canadian. I'm always going to be happy for Canada to win. But I'm here more just to watch the entire game, and it's not the end of the world if Canada loses, which makes the dynamic of the podcast, the two of us, very interesting. But I'll always I'll always watch if there's 3 games on, I'm always going to watch the Canada game. That's what it is. So, but I was more invested, it felt like, just because there's been the World Junior stuff. Canada's never been in this situation. It's just very entertaining. It's so entertaining to see this team in this situation, and you're squeezing for a goal, and you need a goal. And Czechia, just an unbelievable start, unbelievable game from them. Like, they really, they pushed an unbelievable team to the brink, and that's what hockey does. But the fact, here we go. So first of all, even before I say that, and stress, I didn't really feel as much stress. Well, I just don't feel the stress as much. But Celebrini scores at 3 minutes in the game. McDavid assists him. It felt like there's just no way. There's no way Canada doesn't lose this game, doesn't lose the tournament. I saw some people say they're just not going to lose. And then Lucas Sedlak scores. David Pasternak puts Czechia up 2-1. It's like, okay, we've got ourselves a game. It's going to be more entertaining than I thought. I totally thought I totally thought this would be a classic 4-1 kind of 4-1 game. Canada's always up, always leads. Sure, it's close, but it feels like they have more shots, dominate. That's not what it was. McKinnon scores, ties it up 2-2, but that's like halfway through the game. And there's a lot of people that definitely were more nervous about them being down 2-1 halfway through the game. So it's a little bit of a relief with an Angers Palat with 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left puts Czechia up on was that a 3-on-1? And I was watching with people, and I just immediately, when that breakout happened, was like, oh yeah, they're scoring here. There's just no way they don't score. This is where Czechia needs to capitalize. I said they're going to score before they scored. Just you knew they were going to score. And if Czechia is going to capitalize, it was that. And then there was an HS break later in the game. But yeah, 3-on-1, you cannot not score if you're Czechia. That's your chance to win and just shut down the last 8 minutes. So they do. And then you have Nick Suzuki, ties it up. Who shot it? Devon Taves. Nick Suzuki, man, good for him. Also, I forgot to mention the Crosby injury. We'll get to that after. That HS breakaway after when it was 3-3 is like, this is it. And then there you have it. Jordan Binnington does not get enough credit. I've been a hater since day one. I've always thought if Canada's going to lose, it's going to be because of Jordan Binnington. And he somehow shut the door. But I want to say that first period was not, I'm no goalie expert. I actually listened to Jesse Granger of The Athletic. He actually knows, he knows his stuff. He said it before, and it kind of correlates with what I'm thinking, but I just don't know how the words to say it. But it looks like Jordan, the way he said it, described it, is Jordan Binnington's playing further out of his net, which allows him to take up more of the net, which means he's less confident in himself. And then when you also do that, you're going to give up more rebounds, i.e. the France game where he gave up that bad rebound. But playing out of your net, being less confident, you rather stop the puck and give up a rebound than give up a straight shot blank, just beat you. And he also felt shaky. I don't know anything about positioning. Felt like he was, there has to be sometimes. I know there's goalie coaches out there, goalie connoisseurs, whatever you have. There has to be, I don't know. But there has to be times he was just out of position, man, at the entire tournament. Like, he makes unbelievable saves, and the one thing I know is if you make an unbelievable save, it's either because you have a 1% chance of stopping it, and you're in the position, or you're out of position, and if you were in position, you'd be able to stop it. But there's some unbelievable saves. I know the HS one, and there's a one in OT. That wasn't positioning. That was just the skater had the shooter had a higher chance than you, and he stopped it. So, but in that first period, he seems shaky. I wasn't too upset with the goals, really. The Pasternak one, just a rifle in the power play. It would have been nice if you could get a stick in front of that pass to Pasternak on the penalty kill, and then. I don't know. I don't really have a take. It's basically a classic power play, one-timer. That one's okay, but I think there's some goalies out there that stop that. That's all I'll say. I don't know if it's Logan Thompson. We don't know. I don't watch every Logan Thompson start in the Capitals, so I don't know. But Jordan Binnington was great. He somehow shut the door, came up when he was needed. There's no way he was stopping that 3-on-1. So in that third period. Okay, the Crosby injury. Basically, he gets flattened on his leg. He went for an MRI. I don't think we ever got details on what came back as, but obviously it was definitely negative for something broken because he is not out for the rest of the tournament. By the time of this recording, you might have heard this after we find out. But first of all, he's skating on Friday morning before the game and test it out. They're also closing the practice, so nobody will know. But my guess is it's pretty bad. So my guess is he's done for the tournament. But if he's not, he's going to be not 100%. It's going to be 50%. What would you play him at? What percent of health? Like if he's 25%, do you play? Is him at 25%? Is he better than Sam Bennett or Seth Jarvis? I'm gonna say no. So I'd say if he's 50% or higher health wise, which I think there's no way he's above 50%, you would play him. I think just Seth Jarvis or Sam Bennett would give you a not better effort, but like they'd be more effective because they're 100%. And they've also sat out. Both of them have sat for a game. Marchand will be in, clearly. He was, I wasn't very happy with his game, but he's a fourth liner. He barely played, it felt like. And then, yeah, that really hurts the team if Crosby's out now, because you've got questions now with the forward core. I liked when he was at 3C, because then when you needed it, because Canada needed it, and there's a reason why I felt like Canada didn't score, or Canada's offense wasn't at the tip top of what they could be, because he was out for half the game. But once you move McKinnon, this is the issue with the super line. Once you move McKinnon up to that first line with Celebrini McDavid, you've got Nick Suzuki as your 2C. You've got your third line's okay. I like your third line with let me think here. Okay. If you have your 2C moves to your right wing on the top line. Suzuki's coming from the left wing to go to center. Now you have Tom Wilson, who was horrible. He was horrible in that Czechia game. He did not deserve to be on that top line. It's a good thing that they took him off. They took him off early. It was maybe 3 minutes left in that first period. They already put McKinnon up there. He only played 8 minutes, and probably a good chunk of that was just in the first period. Let's see here. Played 8 minutes. He only played 3 in the first period, so pretty evenly split. But now you have Tom Wilson, who isn't effective at all. He's not going to be effective with Nick Suzuki. You have to bump him down. Now, who do you pull up? This has been a question. I know we've had this conversation 2 or 3 times before coming into this tournament. Who is moving up in this lineup? Now, the clear-cut answer is Mitch Marner or Sam Reinhart. But Sam Reinhart has not been good. And Mitch Marner's got something going with Mark Stone and whatever his third-line center would be, who, gosh, they don't even have a center. It's Reinhart. So this is what I would like. That's the only issue with Crosby getting gone. So now, I'm surprised they've been having Reinhart take the draws. Mitch Marner's been playing some center in Vegas, or he's been a center pretty much the entire year. Maybe he's the 2C and you have Suzuki as the 3C. I've been saying Suzuki would be a great 3C on this team. Shut down, win some draws, which he wins the draws, that's for sure. Bo Horvat doesn't really move the needle for me. And then who was on the bench? Who was scratched? Was it Bennett? Yes. Bennett is scratched after he scored that one goal in the gold medal game, or the Four Nations final. Crazy. So I think he'll be in. But where's our centers? The lack of centers on this team is ridiculous. This is where you maybe would want a Mark Scheifele on this team, because we know. See, the other thing is you could put Celebrini down on that second line center and he runs a line. which I don't. I just can't put him in that situation. But the centers, there's no centers on this team now. With Crosby out, you already had Suzuki who's on the wing, who's now a center, and the next option is Mitch Marner, Macklin Celebrini. Take your option. Take your pick. Nick Suzuki's or Seth Jarvis played some center as well in Carolina, but I don't know if it moves the needle. See if he's a 4C. I just don't think there's. Just might as well just have Reinhart play 4C. Man, there's some question marks, and that's what they struggled with. Is if that first line's not out, and I'll get to the defense too. If that first line's not out, especially against Czechia, when that first line was not out against Czechia, Canada struggled. And if that puck was not in, like, even the first line struggled in their own zone at some points. If like it just felt like not a cough up, but David, if you find Roman Cervenka, Marty Necas, and David Pastrnak, if that line's out there, you are outmatched. Unless you're the first, unless you were the McKinnon line, McKinnon, Celebrini, McDavid. Like there was no other line that matched up to the Pastrnak line. Unless it was that first line, which first line handily beats that line, beats the Pastrnak line. Like the power line beats Pasternak's line, obviously. And after that, there's no other line that compares. Like that's how good Marty Necas has been. David Pastrnak picked it up. Roman Cervenka, the 40-year-old Flames legend, is somehow effective and is making these two guys look good. So winning draws too, like he's unbelievable at draws. So yeah, you get scared. You get scared when it's not that. And you play the USA, man. Crosby's out. Who matches up with the Austin Matthews line? Which is their second line, because there's so many questions. And I think going into this Finland game, just tomorrow, which I actually am more nervous about now after seeing this Czechia game, who's the first line? I think they have to put McKinnon back to the second line. I don't think it's going to be Wilson. Is it Reinhart? Like, there's so many questions. I would go Marner at this point. Just give the guy the chance. He's bailed you out 3 times now. All 3 overtimes, he's bailed you out. He assisted McKinnon, I'm losing it. He assisted McDavid in the Four Nations final game in OT. He obviously had the OT winner against Sweden. Man, oh man. Like, I think, dude, I'm very curious what I'm a big fan of the the percent a team had. Canada has a 61% chance of beating Finland. A dumb decision lines. Whatever his thing says, those are interesting. USA's got like 80% chance of beating Slovakia. But I think that USA Canada is probably closer than what it was 2 days ago. Because Jack Hughes, he's their fourth line. He's on the fourth line, and that fourth line is looking really good. And Jack Hughes right now might be he's probably a top forward in this entire tournament. That's the way he's looked. He's really rebounded. Hopefully he can take this into the NHL again with the Devils. But like, this is the thing with taking so many not grinder, like fourth line physical guys. Is you lose someone like Crosby, you're now looking for somebody with some skill to play 20 minutes or 18 minutes, play in a top 6 rule, play a power play, which you just don't have. Brandon Hagel doesn't move the needle for me. Like, I still don't like Nick Suzuki. Like, Mitch Marner's the only one. Braden Point would have as well for me, but he's obviously out. And you're screwed. I think Mark Scheifele would have been the answer here. It's tough. Well, we'll see. We play Finland. We play Finland. 10:40, and then we've got the either bronzes on Saturday or gold on Sunday. So, anyways, last point before I hang her up. It's almost been an hour. I'm fine with goaltending. The decor, man, I've never seen a decor need Josh Morrissey more. This guy needs to get back. I think I said he was going to be back last episode. He was not. Apparently he can't shoot. That's what we saw in the video. Did not look like he could shoot the puck. So I don't know if he's coming back now, but he's skating at least. It's just, Parayko's not been great. We've seen what Parayko can do in his own zone, but he did not do it against Czechia. Shea Theodore, I've not been very fond of. I thought he'd be better. I thought he'd be the one that'd step up for Morrissey. Doughty has fallen off a little bit. He's okay. Harley's been the answer for the top 4 spot, and I just think he can't find that breakout pass right now, and I think only one guy can, and it's Cale Makar. Maybe Theodore, maybe Taves, but really right now, I only have confidence in Cale Makar to get the puck out. How much time did Cale Makar play? Cale Makar played 26 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I only really have confidence in Cale Makar and Devon Taves. That pairing's out. I mean, Cale Makar's double shifting with Harley now. It'd be nice if Morrissey, he's not going to play at 100%. He's still around. Like, I think that's a big factor. Yeah, there's questions, man. There's a lot of question marks. And hand up, this Finland game is going to be very interesting. I just don't see, unless that first line can take over, like McKinnon on that line, if they can take over, they're fine. But if it's not, like Finland's good. I know they lost to Slovakia, but I think they're better than what we've seen. They almost lost to Switzerland. That was a great game. We've had 2 days of just unbelievable hockey. They almost lose to Switzerland, but I think the Finns will really put up a good fight. I think it's a good matchup for them. I think Crosby really helps them. Morrissey out really helps them. They're missing Barkov, obviously, who's been out all year. But I think this game could be... Obviously, Canada's got the edge just because of the X factors on that first line. But those Finns could do the exact same as Czechia did, and probably could beat Canada at this point. At this rate, if Crosby's out, we also have to name a captain. That's another thing, but I think that's easily going to be McDavid. But if I'm John Cooper, I'm giving it to Nick Suzuki, captain of the Montreal Canadiens. Clearly, it's a number 1 pick, man. Right? He ties it up. Nothing this guy can't do. No, just kidding. It'll definitely be McDavid, and then you give the A to, I don't know if it'll be McKinnon. He's not 100%. Oh, McKinnon is not 100% either. Yeah, there's so much stuff. This is the issue with doing solo pods. I'm missing stuff. McKinnon's not 100%, but I would probably, if I'm being honest, I'd probably just give it to Doughty. He was on the he's on the 2014 team. Was he on the 2010 team? I feel like I should know this. They definitely mention this every single broadcast, but I don't know. So that's another thing to keep an eye out. But listen, I'm not here to say Canada's going to beat up Finland. This is going to be a close game, unless that first line takes over. But you've got to expect. I think Finland scoring 3 goals. I think they have it. And it's a team of full NHLers. We haven't seen that yet. And if we're struggling with Czechia, could be a one-off. But I think this struggling was more because we're missing Crosby and we're missing Morrissey, and we don't have any more skill to choose from. So, but like I could see another 4-3 game. I could see the Finns pushing Canada to overtime. I know Four Nations, even with Barkov playing, Four Nations, Saros did not look good, but Four Nations, Canada. Wow, what was it? Was it 6-4 or is it 6-2? I like Canada beat them up though. It was 5-3. Okay, but then Finland scored twice late. So I don't know, man. Like a lot of things could happen, but I'm all right. Getting to the point where I need to tap out here. Got a lot of stuff still to do. I got to make another video. Jake's back actually today, so there'll be less stuff on my table, but we've got a lot of work to do. There'll be a stream. We're not streaming tomorrow's game, but we will be streaming the bronze or the gold medal, whatever game they're in. Hopefully it's gold, obviously, but we'll be doing that. We've got to make another graphic. Hopefully they actually can win, and yeah, I just got to keep pushing through. So I'm gonna leave it here. I clearly missed some things. Let me know if you've even listened this far. And that's about it. Curling. Oh, the game on Sunday, I love it though. It's at 8 a.m. and then there's curling at 5 a.m. that I kind of want to watch. The gold medal game for curling for women's is at 5:05 a.m. So it's gonna be a lot of early mornings and late nights. I don't know why I brought that up, but anyways, that's going to do it for the True North Ice podcast today. Make sure, check us out. I keep forgetting, I'm supposed to mention at the start. I always try and remind myself and I don't. If you're watching on YouTube, I mean, wow, you're just watching me talk for an hour. That's crazy. But we have the podcast basically anywhere. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, gazillion other places. There is a link in the description, or you can find the link. Yeah, there's a link in the description. Takes you to a link tree, which has all our podcast platforms, and then we also have all our social media on there. We've got shorts coming out every day. We've had to delete some because of stupid copyright, and thought we would be able to beat the copyright, but sadly on TikTok we have not been able to. So, but we've got shorts coming out every day. We've got graphics. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So make sure to check us out on all those places, and hope you enjoy celebrating, or I hope you had a good time celebrating this Canada win or loss. Come tomorrow, and hopefully we can rebound. Women's hockey, 2027 is our year. Just remember that. All right, peace out.